Hello, you speakers. I'm Katsam.
I'm George.
And I'm Javier.
American or British English, which is best? Can we really decide which one is best since the first is derived from the second?
Wow, that's a tough one. I think it depends where you live and your expectations. How do you envision your English persona? Now, if you remember this, Katz had mentioned this concept of English persona in our last episode. And for some reason, people associate standard British, or as some might call it, the BBC pronunciation, with elegance. Haven't you noticed that most of the notorious villains in movies have a British accent? Even James Bond is English, and well, he pretends to be very cunning but a classy agent, all with his British charm. Wouldn't you like to have that kind of a charm, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, or just an accent.
Absolutely.
Well, more than asking the question, which is better, I think the question should be, which one will be more useful for you? Who are you planning to interact with? And not only that, but keep in mind the cultural aspect. Is it
That's
British?
right.
A British English from Australia, or so? Which one is it going to be? Who are you going to work with?
Oh,
Wait,
yes.
what?
Yes.
Is
It is
there like
British.
British from Australia? Isn't that Australian English?
Well,
It's Australian English,
it's
but
yeah.
they mix it, depends on the region. And
Well, you know what I
so,
heard, guys, and I heard in a convention, there is no British English. There's a London English and there's a Liverpool accent. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah,
it's a broad term, but
yes.
technically it's all Commonwealth. So
Uh-huh.
Australia falls into that, yeah. So
Yeah, even if
technically it
they
is
are independent.
exactly it would be British English technically.
Now,
Yeah.
this is going to blow your mind, guys. But now, just I'm going to have to add to this what Javier just mentioned. Now that he brought up Australia,
Uh,
and within England, I've read that there are even up to 40 different accents, regional
Yes.
accents, depending on
True.
where you're from.
Mhm.
Okay, so I've read also that the standard or the BBC English is more of South England, and whoever is a British and listening to this,
Yeah.
you might want to comment on this or correct us.
Right. Also, London, for example, London English is very much looking like American English. It's
Oh,
starting to sound like American actually because
yeah.
they've started to,
So I've heard.
because of Hollywood, they've started to include so much American English into their lingo and their slang. But they actually have like the South of London lingo
Mm.
and the East London lingo and the North London lingo as well. So
wow.
yes, languages like
Think of it like
the
Irish
whole.
accent.
Uh-huh.
It's still British accent, but that's really hard to get.
I
It
do need a
is.
translator for those guys. I don't
Oh.
understand a word they say.
So stay tuned today. You're learning fun facts and differences between American and British English. Welcome to another episode of the You Speak English podcast. Thank you for hitting that play button and subscribing to our podcast channel. Remember, you can download the script for this podcast. The link is in the description box below.
And phrasal verb of the week. Now, guys, do you know which phrasal verb we use to state that we're rejecting something? Well, it's turn down. Turn down is a phrasal verb that we use when we want to say no. Okay, it means that you're rejecting something, you're rejecting an offer, an invitation, a request. It's very simple to use. For example, I had to turn down the invitation because I had other plans. It's a way of politely declining something. For example, Katza, I'm willing to give you a round trip ticket for Ukraine next week. What do you say? You want to take that trip?
Oh man, I'm sorry, George, but I'm gonna have to turn down that amazing offer, but I have other plans.
Oops. Okay, maybe next time.
I'll go. I like Call of Duty.
Okay.
All right. Javier, take it away.
Okay, so English fun facts. Did you know that the shortest sentence that can be written in English, in the English language, is I am? A subject and predicate with complete meaning is just 3 letters.
Oh, yes. Beautiful.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
There's another
And
one, right, Javier, that got you in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
The second runner-up would
I
be
do.
I do.
Oops,
I
that's
do.
it. You're in
And then,
trouble. You
yeah,
got any
with one
flashbacks
letter,
with that?
there's
I
no going back
remember
to that.
this. I remember this one time I was teaching class and we were doing conversation warm up, and I asked them what phrase or what is something that you should never say at a wedding, and one of my students actually said, "I do."
Oh
Yes.
God.
Yeah. Okay. For this new section, for the villain section, say this, not that at work. Please don't say, I think they work a lot less than me. Please say, I've noticed that they seem to be quite dedicated and consistently put in a lower amount of effort.
Jesus, you sound so elegant, but at the same time, so aggressive.
It's like I'm totally backstabbing people, right?
Jesus.
Okay, to the main topic. I'm super excited to have you join us for another episode filled with language exploration. And believe me, discussing language and culture gets me all fired up. Today, we're discussing the differences between American and British English.
Okay, let's get started. Segment number 1, vocabulary variations. It's quite remarkable how a single word can take on a completely different meaning depending on which side of the Atlantic you're on. Take biscuit, for instance. In the US, it's a crunchy cookie, while across the pond, it's a soft scone-like delight. And speaking of culinary confusion, let's not forget chips and crisps. In the US, you'd be expecting those thin slices of potato, but in the UK, you'd be handed a bag of savory crisp. It's like a language puzzle, isn't it? So here are a few words in American English and their counterparts in British English. Guys?
Okay. All right. Thank you, Javier. That's really interesting. Okay, I'm going to try my best with British pronunciation. Okay, so American, it goes like this. Elevator. British, lift.
All right, so we have American, vacation, British, holiday.
American, truck. British, lorry.
I love that one. So cute. Okay, American, soccer, British, football.
American, diaper. British, nappy.
All right, if you are interested in learning more words, we have written a longer list in the script. So check it out.
All right. Okay, guys. So now cultural influences on language. Now let's delve into how culture and history have shaped the unique flavors of American and British English. Language isn't just words. It's a window into the past, whether it's the influence of colonization or waves of migration. You can bet that each word carries a tale. It's like language is a time machine revealing the footprints of our ancestors. Take lift or elevator, for instance. One word takes up while the other gives us a lift, both leading to the same place, but with different journeys. And trust me, we're unearthing some linguistic gems that'll make you appreciate the rich tapestry of history and culture that's woven into these language variations.
Right. And here we go with some fun facts. We're going with spelling shenanigans. And I remember I struggled a lot when I started using American English rather than using British English, because when I studied English, I studied British English. So I learned the British spelling, and then I was all confused, and I thought, "Oh, didn't I learn this correctly? Isn't this word spelled correctly?" So we have spelling shenanigans. So did you know that Americans and Brits have different spellings for some words?
Oh.
Take color and color, for instance. While both mean the same thing, Americans prefer to leave the U out. It's like they've got a secret stash of vowels they're not sharing. They're eating them out and just putting them somewhere. Or another fun fact, take these words for instance, pants versus trousers. If you ever find yourself in a conversation about clothing, be careful with the word pants. In the US, it means trousers, the ones that you usually wear to work, right? But in the UK, pants refers to underwear.
Oops.
Imagine the confusion if you asked your British friend about their pants collection. So
That's a funny one. All right. Thank you, Katza. Now, in conclusion, you might be wondering which one is better, American English or British English. But let's be real. There's no definitive answer to that question. It's like asking whether ice cream or cake is better. Cake. So each variation of English is a beautiful expression of its own culture, embracing its uniqueness while connecting us through language.
So I have to add to that, Katza. I believe it's in the early 80s when Culture Club, the band, with the lead singer Boy George, released their debut album, Color by Numbers. And we used to read color like CLOUR, like you said it. And we used to pronounce color.
Oh, really?
Yes, we used to actually say color by numbers. But we didn't know that the British put a U there, so we actually pronounced it. Nevertheless, our audience must know that even though the British is pronounced with a U, it's not pronounced. You pronounce color in English.
It's color.
It's color in both ways. Yeah, we used to say color because we had no idea.
I think there's another one, right, Javier? Flavor?
Yeah, flavor, and there are several.
Right?
Yeah, flavor.
There's several of those.
You can write it. There's several of those actually. Just put a U there, but it's not pronounced. So what's the point?
Isn't that kind of tricky, confusing English learners more? Like, you're barely learning, and then there's a U. Should I pronounce a U? Color?
Yes.
Americans
that means it's more colorful than the American color word, or what?
Yeah, exactly.
No, I like to think
or the
of
past
it as,
tense of learn.
I
learned it with a T. I learned it with a T, and then
Learned.
Americans use a D. So it's like
learned.
I like to think of it like H in Spanish that is not pronounced. And when I actually taught Spanish, they would ask me if I put an H or don't put an H, does it have a different meaning? No, that's just the way it's written.
Yeah.
So they asked me, the Americans would ask me, what's the point?
Exactly.
What's the point? But just use it, okay? So whether you're chatting about chips or crisp, elevators or lifts, remember that language is a celebration of our differences and a bridge that brings us closer together. Embrace the quirks, enjoy the cultural exchanges, and above all, keep the spirit of curiosity alive as you explore the rich linguistic landscape around you.
And this brings us to the end of the episode. Please say goodbye, guys.
I'm a tinny, shaken, not stirred. I meant keep practicing until it hurts.
There is no better English, guys. Both have their own personalities that represent the personality of the original speaker. Use both of them wisely.
Yes. Okay, so this is it for today. Thank you to all of our audience out there. And remember to subscribe to our channel. If you like this podcast, please share it with all your friends. You should also check out our YouTube channel where you can get this podcast video version. And of course, you are more than welcome to comment on our videos. You can also visit our website where you will find articles about English practice and learning. Please find us on social media as @Uspk English, the one with the yellow logo. We're everywhere except for X and Threads. And remember,
perfect practice
makes perfect.
All right, until next time.
See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.